Well, first of all, welcome in, Fredis, and thank you so much for making time to speak with Real FDI. We've got Mipim coming up, so tell us a little bit about the main priorities for Riga at Mipim this year. What are some of the main opportunities that are on offer there?
Hello, thanks for having me. I'm glad that we're back to Mipim. I mean, it was probably now more than 20 years that we're coming to Mipim and building some recognizability of our city. As you know, but I don't know if everyone knows that we usually come with a bunch of partners, real estate experts in Riga, either developers or investors who we give the platform not only to showcase municipality projects and opportunities, but also private opportunities. So it's a mix of our city initiatives and the initiatives which are driven by private sector. And there are a few of major projects that we're looking into. One of those, which I'm sure we're going to speak more in detail going further, but the main topic for us would be affordable housing this year. And the mayor of Riga is coming. We're having a big political panel discussion at our stand around affordable housing. So I think this might be a good platform to also have a political discussion around that. Also for the other cities who are facing similar challenges, but we're also looking to speak more to investors around that topic. Another item is actually related also to tourism. Since COVID, we're quite rapidly gaining back the tourist flow. We saw that last year we had around 15 to 20% increase in tourist flow, and that is given the fact that 20% of our flow were coming from Russia and Belarus, which is not the case anymore. So we had to refocus on new markets, and I'm glad that we could attract from new markets. But that being said, we have two things that we're looking in terms of tourism. One is investment in ROPEX terminal, which we come together with the port and the private owners of the land to build the ROPEX terminal, because eventually what we want to connect is to connect Riga with Stockholm and potentially Helsinki. So we are now in discussions with multiple operators as well as the city of Stockholm in making sure the ferry is there, but we also need to build the terminal. As well as last year, we're looking also into expanding the number of five-star hotels, chain hotels in Riga. While offer of hotels is really good, and if you look at available rooms across Baltic states, we're in a very good position. But what we do lack is chain hotels. Like we have Kempinski, but for five-star hotels, we don't have enough of them. And then for the city itself, same as last year, I think the biggest upcoming thing in the next 10, 15 years will be all around Rail Baltica, the railway connecting Baltics, Poland, and the rest of Europe. That being said, the area of Central Station was for years underdeveloped, but it's central. It will be next to the railway station. And we already now see that some of the investors are buying and securing the land there because they see the potential both for residential, but also hotels and commercial real estate going further. So these are kind of the main big projects, but I'm sure that for any investor, we're a growing city. And for an investor, whether it be residential, commercial, offices, whatever, we can find investment opportunities.
Great. Yes, seems quite a wide range of opportunities there. I'd like to talk a little bit more about around the residential and, affordable housing is a major issue for cities across Europe and Riga being no exception. Can you tell us a little bit more detail about the plans to add new housing in the city and especially affordable housing and what kinds of investors and partners are being sought for this?
Yes, not just Riga, but as a country across all the cities are experiencing quite a significant shortage of affordable and sustainable housing. And if you look on the data among OECD countries, Latvia has one of the smallest housing stocks, comparing less than 2% of the total housing inventory, again, comparing to the OECD nations, which is above 7%. So the key challenges now in housing policy include poor quality of housing, overcrowding, low market activity, and also limited mortgage access for particular residents. Especially those, let's say, classical, I think, situation is that across also Europe that people are forced to rent an apartment because they can't get to the first down payment for the bank. So, and that group is expanding since the real estate costs are going up. So we addressed this challenge together with the European Investment Bank, Latvian Ministry of Finance, and Latvian State Real Estate Company. They partnered with Riga and 18 other municipalities to increase the availability of affordable housing in the country. So the program is called the Rental Housing for Latvian Professionals, and it aims to provide modern, energy efficient, affordable apartments for professionals and their families working in nationally or regional essential sectors, such as education, emergency services, law enforcement, military, public administration, and those kind of group of people. So local governments of the city will be responsible for providing land along with the national public partner co-financing the rental subsidy based on the population's financial capacity and prevailing market conditions. So now we are looking into building at least 2,200 apartments, which around thousands of them should be based in Riga. And we look at the capex for each bundle of approximately 100 and 125 million. So now, together with the European Investment Bank, they're developing the economic calculations, the business case, the model, and it's kind of in the early phases, but this is the phase where we do the math basically. But going further, and this is the first year where we're going to Mipim, we're also looking for investors ready to partner with the government and the city to make that happen.
Fantastic. And housing is a big part of the event agenda at MIPIM because of the urgency of it. So I'm sure there will be some productive conversations. Before we wrap up, can you give us a little bit your outlook for the year in terms of investment into Riga? What are you excited and looking forward to?
Multiple just actually reapproved our strategy for the next 3 years in the city council last week. So a big milestone for my organization. And we're still focusing on our key sectors, which are ICT and shared service centers, which is a big for us. And we saw a significant increase in that in the last years with some major global companies coming and establishing their centers in Riga. We are doing a lot of effort to develop the startup scene. We just financed the creation of Startup House with many different educational activities, incubators, accelerators, and things like that. We're looking in life sciences as an industry as well, because Latvia has a very rich historical heritage of that in terms of education and the companies which are researching and producing medicine and things like that. Real estate obviously is on the agenda because everything else depends on the real estate. If we bring new companies, we bring new people to the city, we need real estate. Rental business is something that is going up and will be going up going further because the market was there just for a few years when we introduced the new laws protecting the investors. So we see a lot of interest from potential investors in doing that. And one more thing, which is also important given the geopolitical situation, that we're also looking into military industries, whether it be manufacturing or working also with startup community when it comes to software and some innovative tools and products, which can be used for dual purpose but also for military.
Great. Again, quite a good breadth and depth of activities and sectors that you're looking at. Oh, thank you, Fredis, for taking time to speak with us and share these latest developments and opportunities. And we will look forward to seeing you at MIPIM.
Yeah, looking forward. Thank you, Courtney.